Good morning, you wonderful, beautiful people. Hello, welcome back to another video. Let's revel in that wonderful 4-1 drubbing of Liverpool for another 24 hours, because why not? It was glorious, it was fantastic, and it's woke me up with a spring in my stepper. I wanted to do this video yesterday, didn't get around to it for various family reasons, but still, I'm absolutely still in the mood to talk about how good Manchester City's 4-1 win was on Saturday over Liverpool. It was marvellous, and there's plenty to talk about. Guys, get yourself a coffee. Get yourself your breakfast. I don't know what time it is wherever you're watching this, but settle in and we'll talk about that game in a little bit more detail. As you can see there, by the way, I'm only 6 subscribers away from 65,800. So if you're watching this right now, if you've not hit the subscribe button, what are you doing, man? Come on, hit the subscribe button. Give this video a like as well while you're at it. It does help support the channel. Of course, as well, would like to shout out the sponsor of this video, Football Prizes. Look, do you want to win a signed Erling Haaland shirt? A signed, custom-framed Erling Haaland shirt? Of course you do. Imagine that on your wall behind you somewhere in your bedroom or your man cave or your office or wherever. Imagine that on your wall. You can win it by entering right now. You've only got until 7:30 today to enter. So if you want to win a signed and framed Erling Haaland shirt, I think there's still like 100 tickets left. So you've got plenty of good odds there. Click the link in the description below. Enter via Football Prizes. And fingers crossed, one of you guys. I want one of you guys to win. Not someone I don't know. I want one of the Esteemed Kompany watchers to win. So good luck and go and enter right now if you want to win that. So let's go on to the first thing that we learned from yesterday's game. Super Jack, the protagonist. Now, before I jump into this, by the way, I do want to say I could talk about every single player in this team at great length. And I've sort of cheated at one point because I sort of want to do that. But I still want to talk about just the 5 things later because I think it's nice to be concise sometimes. Nice to be concise. But I'm going to start with Jack Grealish. And I put Super Jack, the protagonist. Now, a lot of the criticism aimed at Jack Grealish since he's joined Manchester City is that he's sort of blended in and just been there and not really been the key man in any games or anything like that. And that's been a fair commitment. I actually don't think Grealish had a single bad game since he joined Manchester City. I don't think he's the kind of guy who has a bad game, because a bad game is the kind where they give the ball away all the time and they're lazy, or they're just don't get any touches. Grealish doesn't really have those games. His default game is a 6 out of 10. It's all right. He's there. He recycles the possession really well. But a lot of people have said for £100 million, and it's probably fair, you do want a little bit more. You want a guy who's going to take the headlines a little bit every now and then. It's absolutely fair, and that's what he did at Aston Villa. And what we saw on Saturday, I keep wanting to say yesterday because in my head it's Sunday still. What we saw on Saturday was Jack Grealish becoming the protagonist. Now, I wasn't really familiar with this, but I was reading on a forum, and big up to, if you're watching this, the guy who wrote this on a forum. Apparently over in Spain, they talk about performances of attackers making themselves the protagonist. And this is what Jack Grealish was at the weekend. Like, loads of players had more touches and more chances creations than Jack Grealish did. I think De Bruyne and Mahrez, even Alvarez or whatever, had more touches on the ball than Jack Grealish did. But the difference is, Jack Grealish, he had the headlines, man. And every time he got the ball, it felt like something was going to happen. And that's what we've been waiting for Jack Grealish. Of course, it was the assist for Alvarez, which was beautiful. And then it was the gorgeous 1-2 with Kevin De Bruyne, which led to his goal as well. An assist and a goal. And yet another big performance against the top 6 side. Well, at least top 6 on paper. I'm not sure they are right now. I don't even know where they are on the table. Who cares? Liverpool are shite these days. But it was his overall game. He was involved aggressively in everything that Manchester City did, or at least appeared to, and that is the point that I'm making here. He gave Trent Alexander-Arnold such a hard time, which I mean, I probably could, let's be honest, man. Trent Alexander-Arnold is I saw someone call him, defensive terrorist. I saw Lloyd from 9320 call him on Twitter, which is a very fair, very harsh, very brutal cut down of Trent's defensive capabilities. But Jack was just so good, and he wasn't just going forward. We know he worked so tenaciously. And going back the other way, there's one point where he sprinted back 60 yards to stop a cross going in, and then 60 seconds later was at the other end to get an assist for Alvarez. That is protagonist stuff, and this is what we want to see from Grealish. The guy who gets the front cover photo, the guy who gets the headlines, who has those big moments, because I think that's what ends up in the eyes of the public, justifying that kind of fee. And that shouldn't matter, but it does, because it feeds into the player's confidence and reputation, and all those things feed into it. So, Jack Grealish the other day, I mean, like, He was fantastic, man, and I'm absolutely buzzing for him because I think he's quite an insecure person sometimes, Grealish. I think he'd probably admit that himself. Like he understands what people expect of him, so he pays too much attention to that. And I think he needs these big moments every now and then. Let me have some more coffee. I'm still waking up, you know. Good morning to those in the chat as well. Alok, Mehmet, Terry, IIT Wins, Inferno, Baker, and Sebastian. All these people. Good morning to you all. I think Jack needs a game like that every now and then. The second thing I took from it was that no Erling, no problem. Well, I mean, there's a slight exaggeration there, but come on, man. Julian Alvarez, 14 million. Now, I simply tweeted on Saturday, just Alvarez 40 million, lol. And the fume that it ignited all over the internet. Fans just could not accept that Manchester City might just actually be capable of a good deal themselves. Seriously, absolutely remarkable. And as Sean's just said, by the way, Jack and Alvarez look good together. They did, mate. They really, really did. It raises some awkward questions, doesn't it? Just how good maybe we could be with someone who's a little bit more false-ninety. Look, I'm not saying no at Haaland. I love Erling, and I want him to play every single week. But there is some interesting questions to be had there. Alvarez, for the price that we got him and for the quality that we got him, was just a phenomenally good footballer. Honestly, the quality that he brought on the pitch the other day, I mean, he was involved. I mean, that pass to Mahrez, man, that was a De Bruyne pass. It was ridiculously good. And then you look at his involvement for Gundogan's goal as well, when he's dropping and giving the 1-2s with John Stones, and then he's involved with a pass back from Mahrez to Alvarez, and he gets his shot off. That's led to Gundogan scoring. Of course, he got his goal as well. He was just involved in pretty much everything Manchester City did. And of course, all that without his work rate as well. So you get his work rate, but then you get his intensity, his desire, his commitment. It's just so fun to watch. Like, this, such a gifted player. And the thing is, I still think Alvarez is really raw still. I think he's an incredibly raw player who's got an awful lot to improve on. And I think he's going to. That's the crazy thing about it. I think Guardiola has a rough diamond here. Imagine him after a year or two under Guardiola, when he's refined those edges and he's linking up a little bit better. Look, he's a complete centre-forward. It's remarkable how good he is. I absolutely love him. The favorite thing I want to talk about is this, man. Look how beautiful he is, man. John Stones, the Rolls-Royce, the Barnsley Beckenbauer. It feels like after that weekend's performance, he's got some of the roses that he absolutely deserves. People are finally giving him some credit. There's a genuine meme going around, a general kind of like meme going around the City fan base, where people talk about, there's a take where it's like, what's the one football take that decides if someone's a casual or actually knows football? And one of them is how much they rate John Stones. I think it's so accurate. Like, John Stones is fucking remarkable. Like, some people think that Maguire's been carrying him. No, I'm sorry. John Stones is giving Maguire an international career. This guy is ridiculous. And the football that John Stones was playing at the weekend, there was one clip that went viral around. I think it was leading up to Gundogan's goal. If you go watch that clip, go watch the 2 minutes before Gundogan's goal. John Stones is playing the weirdest position. This quasi right back, centre back, DM, deep lying number 8, 6, left centre midfielder hybrid. It's stupid. He starts off all over at right back. He casually drifts over, plays a couple of 1-2s with Akanji, then gets the ball, pings it over to the right wing to Mahrez, casually strolls over again, and before you know it, he's now as a number 8 playing little passes over to Jack Grealish. Then he recycles the ball out with a couple of 1-2s over to Alvarez before it goes and leads to Gundogan's goal. It's just so brilliant. It's Pirlo. It's Xavi. It's Busquets. But it's John Stones, and it's absolutely wonderful. The Barnsley Busquets, man. Like, honestly, the intelligence, the natural ability, and the brain, the understanding of the game state to be able to do that, it's ridiculously good. And of course, as well, this isn't his familiar position. This is a centre-back playing pretty much anywhere on the pitch, man. I fucking love it. I absolutely love it. And when you see that level of ability, no one else could do that. No other centre-back in world football could do that right now. And Guardiola, once again, everyone talks about Guardiola, about the money he spent, but I'm sorry, man. Look, this is more than a £50 million centre-back. He's turned him into an elite, ridiculous, like, he's worth 100 million. He really is. This is what Guardiola does. A ridiculously quality footballer that doesn't get the appreciation that he deserves. Like, for me right now, he is that right back. And I love Rico Lewis, but Rico Lewis is such an intelligent footballer the way Stones is, but he hasn't got the physicality. And Kyle Walker is such an incredible defender, but he hasn't got the technical ability to play it as well as Stones. So right now, Stones is like the hybrid of both, the physicality of Walker and the technical ability and understanding of Rico Lewis. So you've got John Stones, who's become probably England's best defensive midfielder, just like that. And he's playing as a centre-back. Seriously, I think he is. Remarkable stuff. And John Stones, you phenomenally gifted footballer. Fourth thing, this is a cop-out I was talking about at the start of the video. I mainly wanted to talk about Mahrez, but then I wanted to talk about Gundogan. Then I wanted to talk about Ake. And then I wanted to talk about Kevin De Bruyne. So I just put everyone is on fire because I wanted to use a broad stroke thing for him. Because Mahrez there, like, Mahrez could have sulked, you know. Mahrez could have sulked because he's been out of the team for a few games because Foden's been on fire. Foden's on fire. He could have sulked, but no, Ramadan Mahrez is actually a thing. Mahrez came back into the team and he was brilliant, man. Absolutely electric, aggressive, pacey, skillful. Absolutely selfless. All the things that you want from a Riyad Mahrez performance. Just so much skill, so much tenacity. He had Robertson right there in the palm of his hand. He made Van Dijk, Robertson, Konate. He made them look like mugs. But that's what we know Riyad Mahrez can do. And it's not just him. We know everything about Ake. But what about Ilkay Gundogan? What about the quality of that turn for that pass to Grealish? Stupid, man. Stupidly good. And then Kevin De Bruyne rising to the challenges he always does at this time of year. KDB masterclass. And people dare to doubt him. People dare to doubt his quality. A cut above anyone Liverpool had to offer on that pitch. And of course, as well, it isn't just them. All of them. Genuinely all of them. Just so fucking good, man. Absolutely ridiculous. But this all comes down to the final point that I want to talk about. Everyone is on fire. But there's one reason. Pep was right again. We need to stop doubting Pep Guardiola. This man is a fucking genius. Every single time we doubt him, every single time we think it's a bit step too far, what does he do? He comes up with something new, something beautiful, and all he asks is for patience. And all he says is that he knows more than the Twitter guys. You do, Pep. I'm wrong, mate. I try and defend you as much as I can. I always do because I think you're a fucking genius. But once again, Pep, if you're watching this, we do love you, you know, mate. We're just insecure, like Pep. Like, if you're watching this, pal, it's hard being a City fan, man. We went through a lot of pain, and we have the world against us as Manchester City fans. And seriously, I'm not expecting pity here, but everyone fucking hates us, mate. And everyone hates us. And the first moment of weakness, we sometimes struggle. Seriously, honestly, it's really sometimes... It's stressful, and some of the young fans only know success. And I guess if I was saying to you, Pep, if you ever see the frustration of some fans and they're moaning about the standards, it's because you set them. So take it as a compliment too. Not that Pep needs to be told all this, but once again, man, remember when we were all moaning about his new formation, the 3-2-3-2 kind of thing he was doing? And guess what? He was right again. A few tweaks here, a few tweaks there. He removed the really negative influence that was Cancelo, and everyone told him he was being stupid for doing that. You know, say you got to play with Cancelo, you can't leave yourself short. But he was right again. He was right about Jack Grealish to trust him. He was right about playing John Stones there. He was right about playing Ake there. He was right about De Bruyne's form, telling him he needs to make it simple again. He was right about encouraging Mahrez to go refocus early on the season. He was right about this formation and trusting the inverted fullback thing. He's been right and right and right and right because he always fucking is, because he's the best. And that's what Guardiola does. Honestly, like, we need to just sometimes remember how lucky we got it. Pep Guardiola is a remarkable manager. Manchester City's form right now, at this time of year, is absolutely, it's scarily good. And I'm really hoping that we can carry on. I agree with Harry. Harry said in the comments, you wait when Pep leaves, you'll appreciate what a jewel you had in Pep. No, mate, I do. I fucking love him. I always say in these videos, I'm going to say it again, these are the best ever times to be a Manchester City fan. I'm not jinxing him, man. Nothing that I say is wrong about Guardiola. He's just fucking brilliant. He's the smartest brain in world football. There's no one smarter than Guardiola in world football. I believe that. The formations, I mean, look at the 2017-18 side with Sane and Sterling. Then look at the 18-19 side. It changed again. Then look at the side 2 years ago, the false nine. Then look at the side now. These sides are all different, and he constantly reinvents them. And he constantly finds a way for the team just to float and be brilliant. It takes a bit of time every now and then, but it only takes 10-15 games. That's the beauty of Guardiola. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous, and I fucking love the man. A super chat here from my mate Manx. One thing I've learned is that I hate waking up at 5 a.m. Yeah, mate, I wake up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. I'm knackered, mate. Shout out to Ruben. Hope the missus is feeling better. She is actually. The food poisoning has cleared up big time, mate. Ruben's eczema's bad today. It's so annoying. It never goes. But thank you so much for the support, man. I really do appreciate it. We are tired, but we are happy generally, you know. I am stressed today this morning. I can't deny it. But that's why I want to do a video and have my coffee and chat to you guys. Very much appreciated, man. But yeah, these are the 5 things that I took from this game. Seriously, like, when you look at the table right now, let me bring up the table. Let me look at the Premier League table and the fixtures coming up. You know, it isn't going to be easy. But who knows, man? Who knows? Maybe we could do it. Maybe we could do it. I'm hoping that we can. Where are we? Hang on. Why is it not on screen? 1 second. I'll make it appear on screen eventually. Come on. Right, for whatever reason, it wants to hide away from the screen. Let me just reset it. But basically, the way I see it is that right now, this Manchester City side, I'm feeling pretty confident. I really genuinely am, because I've got a feeling that we're onto something here. We're onto something. I can't find the team. I'm sorry, I can't get it to show on the screen. But this City side right now, look, we've won how many games in a row? 7 games in a row, scoring a whole bunch of goals. We've won 4-1, 6-0, 7-0, 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-1. It's like we beat Arsenal. We've got Southampton next weekend. I'm hoping we'll win that. I think we will do. I'm feeling confident about Bayern as well, lads. We've got, of course, Leicester. New manager bounce. Great, not great. Bayern. Then Sheffield United semi-finals. Then, of course, we've got Arsenal. Arsenal's run of fixtures. Look, Arsenal are phenomenal right now. Did they win the league, by the way, Arsenal? Fair play to them, man. Fair play to them. Genuinely, fair play to them. They've got Liverpool coming up next weekend at Anfield. I'm hoping a wounded Liverpool turn up and find a different way to be it. Then they've got West Ham, who are struggling, but it's away. Then they've got Southampton. They'll spank them. They've got us. But after that, they've got Chelsea. Hopefully a new manager bounce there. Newcastle away. Brighton. There's some potential slip-ups there. I feel like our best chance of catching Arsenal is somehow beating them at the Etihad, but beating them convincingly, then hoping they have a small wobble and draw a game or something like that. At that point, I feel confident. But all I know is that we could win the rest of our games. We are very capable. I'm not saying we will do, but we are very capable of doing that. At least 9 out of 10. I would not be surprised at all. And I feel pretty confident right now. Guys, thank you very much for watching this video. I would say, if you want to win a signed and framed Erling Haaland shirt, which is pretty phenomenal, click the link in the description below. It does end tonight. So if you want to win this, you've only got a few hours left to enter. Genuinely, you've got until 7 p.m. tonight. It is UK based, but if you want that on your wall, it's an incredible prize. Go and do it right now. Enter over at Football Prizes, and good luck to you guys. Guys, like and subscribe. Please do hit the subscribe button. I only need 6 more subscribers to get to 65,800. I'm going to go out and spend the day with my wife and my son, because this is, look, you can't quite see it, but it's a beautiful blue sky. Let me change the webcam quickly. Look at this glorious blue skies out there. I can't wait. That was ceiling cam there from my webcam. Maybe you need more of a ceiling cam. Maybe I need to be able to change it every now and just go like that. Boom. But either way, I'm pretty confident about having a nice day. Guys, thanks for watching. Love you all loads. Like and subscribe. Catch you all very soon. In a bit. Up the Blues.